Hello YouTube, welcome back to Factorio. I have a little bit of a sore throat today, but I will live. I will live to make a factory another day. So, lots of things have changed since the last time. I've done quite a lot of research. I'm almost done with the research that just requires the red and the green goo, and I'm working now on the blue Research Goo line. Let's just take a peek-see. So we need... well, speak of the devil. I've just been going down the line here and picking the ones that just require just those two. So let's see what I was looking at. So we need battery, advanced circuits, smart inserters, and steel plates. Okay, well, steel plates I got covered. I'll go back to the beginning here. So basically what I've done here is this initial... So the resources come off of the smeltery line, is what I'll call it. I upgraded all these to the fast transport belts. I was really having a huge problem with backup here. So I think this helps. So I have this initial buffer. Now each one of these can hold quite a lot of iron and quite a lot of copper. But this does actually help eventually. It won't help the copper. Because there's really nowhere for it to go, but the excess steel, you will notice, I keep on calling it steel, the excess iron plates will go down, continue to go down the line, and will get made into steel. Now, I did put efficiency modules. I was having a real rough time trying to keep up with power. You can see that these are now requiring the most amount of power, 2.5 megawatts. I do have quite a big power generation facility, but I didn't want to upgrade it again, or make it bigger again. So I'm starting to build these efficiency modules. They don't affect speed, which I thought they did. Yeah, energy consumption minus 30%. So if you hover over it, they're only 72 kilowatts, which is compared to 180. So it's, yeah. So that's a good deal. However, those modules are ridiculously expensive. They take 5 green circuits and then 5 of the advanced circuits. That brings me to the next section, is I have been making plastic. And you can see that I have this, like, silly plastic line here coming from all the way down here. But that's what I needed to do to get it to work. So... the plastic is being shipped all the way up here and then into this production line, and then we have these 3 assembling machine 2s making advanced circuits. So I think I'm going to turn this into 6 of these. I left extra room over here just in case. They take a laughably long time to make. So, period. And in addition, we're going to need a lot of them. Because, if you notice, each one of those takes 1. Okay, so then we need to make smart inserters. Those take 4 electronic circuits. And then as we get down to some of these... actually, I haven't even unlocked most of the stuff, but we're going to need a lot of them, is what it comes down to. A lot of these armor things that we're going to want to build... processing units really are a pain in the butt to make as well, so we have a lot of work to do. The next conundrum is that I shouldn't say I lost, I ran out of some of my iron ore resources up here, so I might have to invest in a train and kind of branch out a little bit. Because I think it would be too much to ask to... Oh, there's baddies down here. I don't want to get involved in that quite yet. I don't think it would be worthwhile to ship it over here with a transport belt. It would take a lot of transport belts. So, yeah, we will deal with that when the time comes, which probably will be sooner rather than later. So we have this huge line of steel building up here. So let's actually... put that into a chest for now, because we're going to need quite a lot of it. Alright, good, good. So we have a fair amount of those, good amount of those. So let's go down here and talk about oil, because that's going to be the next thing. You can see I've already prepared for this eventuality. I put a whole bunch of pump jacks down here, and I've got quite a lot of crude oil stored up. So let's start up here with sort of the basics. So, number one, you need pump jacks. You will notice that it says expected resources, pollution, etc. Expected resources, when you hover over... Let's see if I can find an example here. Well, let me just do this. So when you hover over this, it says crude oil, yield 202%. Let's see if I can put this back. Oops. So when you put these pump jacks down, the expected resources will be a certain number of them per second. And then I would suggest putting them into some sort of a tank, and then into the refinery. And the refinery breaks the crude oil down into the three separate parts: petroleum gas, light oil, and heavy oil. Eventually, you will get to the advanced oil processing, I think is what it's called. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is here. Advanced oil processing. It will basically allow you to break down the crude oil into, instead of 3 light oil, 3 heavy oil, and like 6 petroleum gas, or whatever the original one was. You can see here it's 1 heavy oil, 4.5 light oil, and then 5.5 petroleum gas. But it also requires water, which is no big deal. And then you can also crack that heavy oil down to light oil, and then you can do even more, where you can crack the light oil down to petroleum gas. Sulfuric acid we will need to make in many, many abundant quantities, and that requires a lot of petroleum gas. Also, plastic requires a lot of it as well. So you can see here that I am still producing... Oh, actually, I sort of screwed this whole line here, because... No, it doesn't matter, I have a lot of it. So what I was going to say is that this inserter will never put resources down, because it's on the wrong side of the belt. But that's fine, because this one will. So, no worries. So anyway, that's the most basic. I'm sort of wasting this light oil, making solid fuel. Wasting is maybe a bit of a stretch, because, like I said before, the solid fuel is significantly more efficient than coal is. It lasts many times. It's like 3 or 4 times as long as coal is. So I've sort of prepared myself for the next level, which is sulfuric acid and lubricant. But what I'm waiting for is for these to get to 0.0 essentially, or 0.1, because then I can just demolish this whole chenille here and move it over. So I haven't quite moved it yet. It's almost there. Actually, there's quite a bit of iron ore here and here, and a lot of copper there, so we'll see about the likelihood of making a train. Trains aren't super expensive, but they're kind of tricky to set up. They take a lot of room to set up, so I may or may not do that. So this is my power setup. I don't know exactly how much power this produces, but it's more than enough for the factory that I have right now. So it's grown quite a bit. You can see that instead of expanding more east-west here, I started to move some of the production north. So basically, this whole section down below here is entirely devoted to red and green Research Goo. And in addition to that, I expanded my electronic circuit production line. So basically I have 3,000 electronic circuits that I want to keep at all times. You can see here that when this thing gets cranked up, so this is producing the copper cable, excuse me. And when this thing gets cranked up, I have 6 of these assembling machine 2s cranking out the copper cable, and you can see it just goes crazy, in addition to using these fast transport belts. So I can really crank out a lot of electronic circuits that way, and I will need a lot of them, so that's fine. And in fact, the same thing can be done for here. I can extend this line up and around and put another 4 assembling machines on that if needed. So I think I'm getting there. It's not the most pretty thing in the world, but it certainly is functional. Expansion is going to be a problem. I am going to run out of resources here pretty soon. Let's see if we can go up here and take a peek-see. The problem is there are a lot. There's actually a lot more room up here. Less trees and whatnot, so I may end up moving a portion of my factory up here. And I think this area here is going to be a good place. Yeah, this is a huge field here, so this area here might be a good place to make a base and put a train. Let's see if we can... Yeah, so there's quite a bit of baddies up here. I haven't quite gotten to the point of getting tanks or vehicles yet. That's the... I don't think it's my next concern, but it's going to be pretty close. I'm going to need to get tanks, because eventually I'm going to need the alien goo stuff to start making some of the better armor and weapons and whatnot. So I did unlock solar panels. Those you kind of need those for the laser turrets. Laser turrets use a lot of electricity, so there's a lot of things still yet to do. Just sort of getting trying to decide what direction I want to go. This, I think, is pretty efficient here. There's not a lot of waiting around. You know, the red and the green goo are just continuously being produced, and we'll come down here and see how much I have. It's like many thousands of each, I think. Yeah. So 2,500-ish red and about, or not 2.5, 2.3 thousand, and then 1.8 thousand green. So so we're doing well, and I added some more. Oh, that's right. If you funded this, you they named the lab after you. So yeah, the labs. I think I can actually put efficiency or speed modules in here too if I cared about it. So 60 kilowatts isn't that much. And actually, yeah, you can see that some of my furnaces aren't being utilized fully, but that's fine. For now, I'm not worried about a shortage of resources, so yeah, that's what has changed in the last few days or few weeks, depending on when I put these videos out. Got a couple hundred steel there, that's good. Oh yes, nice. Let's see, is there anything else I needed to go over? I don't think so. Been trying to put lights around, it's been dark in this place. Let's see, I should probably move some of the drills down here. I'll probably do that next. So I think that's about it for this episode. Thanks again for watching. Next episode I will probably... This is kind of a short one. I'll probably go into more detail about the oil process, but probably not until after I research advanced oil processing, and that's going to require blue science packs, so that may be a little bit yet. But probably the next video is going to be a huge jump from where I'm at right now. Probably next time I make a video, you'll see some trains in here and whatnot, so look forward to that. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next episode.